Today's word processing session is going to be about typography and e-learning, mostly typography. Typography, as I open this up, typography is about how the text looks on the page. It's mainly how it looks on a web page, but it's also good for when you're using Word documents that you'll be printing out and sharing with others. A lot of the big things in typography has to do with color, has to do with spacing, and images. Like I said, before we were using nice background colors. But for a lot of people, it's very hard to read some of these colors. Like that pink. That pink is very garish. And let's put some text in there. I happen to like that color. It's just not that great for educational purposes, for trying to read something on this. Fox jumped over the lazy dog. And you know what? That's boring. I want to change it. I want to make it a different color. Now, as you can see, that's nearly impossible to read. So I'm going to change the background color. But you know what? Red is not a good text color either. Red is mainly for emphasis. Think about it. A stop light or a stop sign is red. It grabs your attention and it stops you and you look around. If everything were red, it would not be as important. So we're going to go back, get rid of this red, change it back to black. Using the different colors for the backgrounds and the text for signs is fine. They are there to grab your attention. You just really have to be careful what colors you mix together. Just like as you saw, the pink background with the red text was not a good choice. Another part of typography has to do with using different images. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. So if I were going to be inserting images to go with this, it would make sense to find a picture of a fox. A picture of a fox, here we go. And maybe a picture of a dog to go with it. He looks kind of lazy. He's laying there. So there's our lazy dog. And if we were going to be using this, we of course would be resizing some of these images, but this is just a practice. And you know what? Since it's a piece of literature, I'm going to type in literature and see what comes up. Oh, see, books. But you know, that has absolutely nothing to do with our text. It will distract the learners. It will pull their thoughts away from what they were reading. So, no. We're going to cut that out. Another big part of typography, besides the colors, besides the images, is spacing and alignment. As we said before, most things are left aligned. As we said before, most things are left aligned. Just like that. There really is no issue with indenting the first line of the paragraph. That's fine, that's normal. But think about it. Any upper level text you have read has either been completely left justified or it has the first line of the paragraph indented. I know a lot of people like to center their text. They like the way it looks that way. But unless it were something special, it would work for a caption. It works fine as a caption right there, like under that dog. But For regular reading text, it's going to be left aligned. Another biggie, I know when I was learning how to type, we always were taught 2 spaces after each period. The new rule is 1 space after each period. The new rule is 1 space after each period. It looks better on the screen that way. It's easier to read. It's not quite as much of a gap between the text. It will take a little retraining to work on that, but in the long run, it will help you, especially after you advance from using Microsoft Word into getting into designing web pages, which I know sounds monumental, but it's a lot easier than you think. Most of the typographical ideas and rules are basically common sense, so just stop and think before you're using those bright garish colors or images that have nothing to do with your text. So I'm going to sign off. You have assignments to work on and a quiz to take, so enjoy.